What's going on, everybody? Dan the Ultra Dad back for another video. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope your weekend's going well. Hope you can hear me okay here. So tonight we're going to talk about my top five 100 milers that I am seriously considering for 2023. Let's get into this. What's up, everybody? Dan the Ultra Dad here. Thanks again for joining me on my channel. Hope you're doing well, man. I hope your weekend is shaping up to being a good training weekend. This week's been pretty long for me, but I'm very thankful that the weekend's here. I can't wait to get a couple good runs in, hopefully trail runs. So just very, very excited, always excited for a weekend, right? If you haven't subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button. We love those, as well as hitting the little thumbs up symbol there at the bottom of the video. That is very helpful to my channel, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. So yeah, let's talk about my top 100 milers. First of all, let's definitely clear the air. I'm still running 100 milers, even though I didn't finish either of the ones that I attempted last year, the MOHICAN 100 and the Wasatch 100, for different reasons. If you haven't checked out my videos from those races, definitely do that. I spent a lot of time on it, and I really enjoyed the experience from both of those races. All right, so for 2023, we still are going to be, looking at doing at least one 100 miler. I can definitely commit to that. I don't know if I'll do multiple. Actually, these top 5 races are not all 100 milers, so that's a little hint too. Let's talk about 5 races that I have my sights set on, that I think are strong potential races to run in the year of our Lord 2023. All right, so number 1, so top 5. So let's do number 5. We'll count down. The number 5 race that I'm looking at for 2023 is the Fat Dog 120. Fat Dog 120. Yeah, I got some history at this race. I DNF'd this race. This was my first 100-mile attempt, which is crazy because the Fat Dog 120 is known as one of the most classic 100-milers. It's been around for a long time. It's up near Vancouver, Canada, like I think 3 hours away. It's in the northern Cascade Mountains. Man, I mean, talk about scenery. It is just absolutely beautiful. If you've ever watched Jeff Pelletier's channel, he lives there, he trains there, so you see a lot of good stuff from that. Of course, the famous Gary Robbins is from that area as well. Well, the Fat Dog 120, I DNF'd it in, I think it was 2017, but that was the beginning of my 100-mile race journey. And so someday I got to get back to that race to actually finish it. I was very naive the first time I tried. Obviously, because I was just looking for one of the toughest 100-milers to try, and I DNF'd it. But the views were absolutely amazing. I mean, it was so beautiful. Just amazing views. What an experience it was, and I would love to get back to that race. So number 5 would be the Fat Dog 120 up in Canada. Number 4, it's going to have to be the Burning River 100-miler all the way back south. We're going to go south into southeast into Ohio, my home state. The Burning River 100-miler, that is one of 2 major 100-mile races in Ohio every year. The Burning River 100, for the past few years, they've had a different course, from what I understand, than the classic traditional course that the Burning River 100 has had. It's a Western States qualifier. It's a very flat 100-miler, but and it's called the Burning River because of the river near Cleveland there. I don't remember the name of it, but it's famous for, I think, catching fire, or someone thought it was. But but I think it's also called the Burning River 100 because of how hot it is. I mean, it definitely takes after its namesake because it's in July in Ohio, one of the hottest times of the year here. All right, so let's talk about my number 3 potential race for 2023. And we're going to stay in Ohio for the other major 100-mile race in Ohio, the Mohican 100-mile ultramarathon, the Mohican 100. It happens in June. And as you know, if you know anything about my channel, if you've been watching me at all, this race I have a lot of history with this race. So I have run this race for the past 3 years. If I run it in 2023, that will be my 4th year in a row. The first 2 years I finished the 100-mile event, which was awesome. I mean, it's the only 100-miler I've ever finished, which is crazy to think because I've been doing this now for 4 or 5 years. But it's just a great race. It's got everything. It's got, fairly difficult conditions because it's pretty warm at the beginning of June in Ohio. It's got some vertical gain, not a lot, but I think it's about 13 or 14,000 feet total. Obviously, if you're out west, you're laughing at me, but for an Ohio boy, that's still a pretty good amount of vertical gain. And the best thing about it is I think it has the claim of the oldest ultramarathon, the oldest 100-mile ultramarathon in the United States, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but it's been going for 30, 40 years, something like that. I've got the t-shirt on right now. The Mohican 100-mile ultramarathon is my number 3 potential race, a race for 2023. All right, now let's get into the good stuff. My number 2 potential race for 2023 is going to be, we're going to go further south. We're going to stay on the eastern side of the United States, and it's going to be the Cruel Jewel 100-mile ultramarathon in Vogel State Park, Georgia. And it takes place and I'll try to put some links to these races as I'm talking here, but in post when I edit. But the Cruel Jewel 100 is one of I'd say it's possibly the most difficult 100-mile ultra on the East Coast. It probably outclasses many of the mountain 100-mile ultras out west. Not for altitude because it doesn't have, it only goes up to, I think, 4,000 or 5,000 feet. But because of the overall vertical gain, the vert, it's about 33,000 feet of vertical gain. It's just constantly, you're going up and down constantly. It is brutal. I did this race. I DNF'd this race 2 years ago. And yeah, it was rough. If you haven't checked out my video, definitely check that out. I'll try to put a link up in the upper right-hand corner. But the Cruel Jewel 100, I DNF'd at mile 30. It was embarrassing, but it killed me. It basically killed me. And I'd like to have some revenge and get back to that race and finish that race. They give you, I think they give you 48 hours to finish the race. So you have plenty of time to finish the race. You can do it. If you're tough enough, you can make it and you can finish the Cruel Jewel 100. That is my number 2 race. Side note, I could potentially do the Cruel Jewel 50, which is, it's an out and back. So you start from the middle and you run to the end. I could do that potentially as an option, if I'm going to choose another one of the 100-milers. So that's possible too. That's a real possibility. All right. My number 1 potential race for 2023 is not a 100-miler. It's not a 100-mile race. It is a 100-kilometer race, and it is located in a little town called Gould, Colorado. The Never Summer 100K in Gould, Colorado is my number 1 potential race for 2023. This race has been a race I've been thinking about for pretty much ever since I got into ultras, since I got into the ultra marathons, scene. when I did the Fat Dog 120, after I failed to finish that race, the Never Summer 100K was one that I was thinking, well, this might be a good option because, I'm all about the scenery. I'm all about the views. I'm all about just being out in nature and being out there isolated. So the Never Summer 100 has always been kind of something that I was interested in doing, also because it's only 62 miles long, so it's a little easier for me to finish. The Never Summer 100K also has a good amount of vertical gain for 100K. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it's a decent amount. You're between the Medicine Bow Mountain Range and Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. And man, hopefully I can put the website up for you because there are some amazing views. This is the kind of race that I would absolutely love. And again, it's only 100K, so it's doable. However, I've heard a lot of people say, although it's only 100K, it feels like a 100-miler just because of how much vertical gain there is and because of the altitude, because you're up in, the 12, that I think it's average is about 8,000 feet, but, you get up to 11,800 feet is the max gain, I think, for the Never Summer 100K. So that is my number one potential race for 2023. And those are my 5 races that I'm looking at for 2023. Definitely don't put it past me to, sub in a couple other options. I'm not doing all these races. Let me be clear. These are potential races. I will probably only choose 2 of these. So maybe 3, depending. But these are kind of on my radar and what I'm thinking about right now. Could definitely change though, so don't hold me to it. And this has become a very long video. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a good weekend again. I would love to hear about your potential races down in the comments below. Definitely hit me up. I'd love to take a look at it and let you know what I think. And you need to let me know what you think about these 5 potential races for next year. So man, I don't know if you can tell, but I get really excited when I talk about races. I love racing, especially when I'm with other people. That's the most fun that I have, is running with you guys. And it's always so much fun to see you out there. So anyway, that's what I got for you tonight. If you have watched the video to the end, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like, thumbs up button as well for this video because it definitely helps it out a lot, helps my channel out. And hopefully we can run sometime soon. But for now, I'll catch you in the next one.